Hi, I'm Bob Jeffrey, Global CEO and Chairman of JWT, and welcome to the newest edition of Worldmakers. We're here with people who make a difference around the world, blending technological innovation with international imagination. We're pleased to say we're here with Rich Goodstone, who's one of the founders of Superfly. Hi, Rich. Welcome to Worldmakers.
Thanks for having me.
So you just announced Bonnaroo. What are the details on that? When? How do you get tickets and so on?
It's June 7th to the 10th. Tickets will be available online. We've sold every single ticket, another technological tie. Sold every single ticket through our website since day one. And so, yeah, it's going to be a great year.
What's fascinating to me is just Bonnaroo as a brand. I mean, how do you think about it as a brand? Because obviously that's going to be a key motivator for brands to get more engaged with it.
Absolutely. Well, listen, if we're not cool and our audience, we don't have this peer-to-peer relationship with our audience, why would brands want to be a part of that? So that's been our value proposition from day one. Our audience is completely understood in the community at large that, Bonnaroo is a Creole term for that means good stuff. And the audience really has bought into that because we walk the talk.
Can you talk a little bit about the impact of technology on this as well?
Yeah, sure. I think in general, the ability to really talk to consumers who aren't at the actual events and kind of utilizing them as like tentpole moments, but understanding that the ability to interact on an ongoing basis, interact with the people who aren't at the event at the time, so through social media, through content and distribution of it, through our partners like with YouTube and Fuse, we're giving a lot of people the feel for what we do those 4 days. So there's a lot of energy around it, and there are very memorable moments for the community that's there, but the amplification of that and the reach that it has, each year we have about 1.5 billion media impressions that come around Bonnaroo, something like Bonnaroo. And so while there's only 100,000 people experiencing it, so many more are exposed to it.
There's a lot of people from JWT around the world watching the show, and they, in a good way, they want direction on how do I get brands more involved in leveraging this type of content. So based on your experience, what are the 1 or 2 key principles you've discovered in doing this now that could apply to almost any brand that would get everybody's attention?
For us, within our framework, it's how do brands add value to the experience? How do they add value to a consumer's life? In the event space, that's these memorable moments, these rite of passage moments that they'll be talking about for the rest of their lives. So how do brands become a part of that? If you're putting up banners or unnecessarily naming stages, you're not adding value.
It's not just the physicality of it, it's the virtual side of it.
Absolutely. It's, the way we've looked at it is Bonnaroo is the Super Bowl moment of music. And so it's not just about the 90,000 people that are attending, the same way it's not for the Super Bowl. It's about leveraging the brand equity. We're building around various consumer passion points. While it's a music festival at the core, within Bonnaroo is the 2nd largest comedy event in the country. Passions don't live in a silo. And again, if you look at the audience and what they're looking for, I love music. I don't want to watch 17 hours of it in a row. I want to go check out a movie. Maybe I'll take a yoga class in the morning. I'll go to a restaurant in the afternoon. And that's the kind of experience that we provide within our events.
We talk a lot with clients about making stuff. It's about going beyond traditional media venues and actually making stuff, which is what you're doing. You're creating something that wasn't there before. It's beyond music.
That's really well said. And I think the brands have the ability to be a major part woven into the fabric,
in that, right?
Woven into the fabric of the event.
Great. Well, Rich, this has been terrific. I learned a lot in speaking with you, and I'm sure our audience has as well, and thanks for making the time.
Really appreciate you for having me here.
And thank you for tuning in to the latest edition of Worldmakers.